Hello friends, myself Santosh Pandit. Today we are going to see lecture on respiration instrumentation. Respiration, it's a process in which oxygen or air is taken in and carbon dioxide is given out. Basically it's related to energy. Glucose from the food is used, oxygen is taken for breaking the glucose and production of energy along with carbon dioxide and water is done. It's one type of biochemical process in which the cells obtains energy. The main organ involved in respiration system is lungs. The lungs works with circulatory system to pump oxygen rich blood to the cells in the body. The blood then collects carbon dioxide and other waste products, transport back to the lungs where they are pumped out during expiration. This is the reactions happening. Glucose reacts with the oxygen and it produces energy along with carbon dioxide and water. These are the formulas that 6 O2 molecules along with glucose molecules, they combine, they react to produce 6 CO2, 6 H2O plus energy. The energy which is utilized by the cells for carrying out day-to-day activities. This is the figure of respiration system. This is nasal cavity. We have got larynx, we have got pharynx, we have got this trachea. From that trachea we go to lungs through bronchi, then bronchi again bifurcates into bronchioles, that they are decreasing by size, and bronchioles then terminates into alveoli, that are the air sacs, that is tiny capillaries where the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide happens. So nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, alveoli, these things we are going to cover in this lecture. Pharynx. Pharynx is the common space between respiratory and digestive system. It's the part of throat between mouth and nasal cavity. Larynx. Larynx is the voice box. It's the organ in the top of the neck involved in breathing, producing sound. Also it protects the trachea against food aspiration. During rest our respiration rate is near about 14 breaths, while during exercise it increases in the range of 32 breaths. It depends on the type of exercise one performs. Trachea is the windpipe. It is about 4 inches long, less than an inch in diameter. So this is the trachea. The trachea bifurcates into 2 lungs. The trachea divides into small tubes, they are called as bronchi. So bronchi are the main passage into lungs. The bronchi bifurcates to bronchioles. They are the smaller branches in the respiratory tract. They include terminal bronchiole and respiratory bronchiole. The bronchiole then terminates into alveoli. Alveoli are types of air sacs. They are having capillaries where the exchange of O2 and CO2 happens. Alveoli are the air sacs. The air sacs are seen in the figure. O2 from the respiration tract from the atmosphere, it gets exchanged with CO2, gets expired. There are about 300 million alveoli in adult lungs. Now this is the figure about inspiration. This is the intercostal muscle. These are the ribs and these are the diaphragm. So when anyone tries to breathe, the intercostal muscle between the ribs contract, pulling the chest wall up and out. The diaphragm muscles also contracts. Due to this, the size of the chest increases. Thus, the lungs increase in size. Now, as Boyle's law says, when there is increase in size, that is volume increases, so pressure decreases. Moment pressure decreases, the air from the atmosphere enters in the lungs. This is how the inspiration cycle takes place. Similarly, when someone goes for expiration, the intercostal muscle between the ribs relax. The diaphragm muscle also relax, thereby reducing the size of chest. Size of the chest reduces, it means lungs decrease in size. Again, lungs decrease in size means volume decreases, pressure increases, and this causes the air from the lungs to get expired against the atmospheric pressure. This is how the expiration cycle works. Now, after getting the fundamentals of respiration, let's see spirometer. Spirometer is an apparatus which is used for measuring the volume of air inspired or expired by lungs. It measures the ventilation, the movement of air in and out of lungs. Spirometry is a physiological test that measures how the individual inhales or exhales volume of air at a function of time. Thus, spirometer device which measures the lung capacity and lung volume. It is seen here, the patient is trying to breathe through mouth with a mouthpiece. The mouthpiece is connected to the PC, a software ADC circuit through a sensor record the signal, and through graph where we rate the normality or abnormality of lungs. This is water seal spirometer. Through a mouthpiece, the patients try to inhale or exhale. This is the bell jar, which is kept inverted in a water container. The bell jar through a pulley is connected to a weight. Moment the patient inhales or exhales the air, it causes the bell jar to move. The movement of the bell jar through a pulley is seen with the movement of this weight. Now we have to replace the weight, or we have to connect the weight with a pen, and the pen marks a record on a paper. So similarly, when the patient goes for maximum inspiration, it marks a graph. When it goes for maximum expiration, it marks. When it goes for multiple inhale exhale, it marks the multiple waves. Thus, the water seal spirometer works here in the way. Whatever we have discussed, same thing is been written. The jar moves, accordingly the recording is made. The pen which is attached to the weight, when it marks on a graph, it is called as kymograph or chemograph. And it is here the spirometry works. This is the volume and time. So when a patient's FEV, force expiratory volume, means forcefully when a patient expires the air, the recording is made with respect to time. Here is flow volume versus time, and here is flow versus volume. So from these two graphs, the force expiratory volume capacity of the particular lungs is studied. These are the various parameters which are studied under spirometry. Initially, the patient is said to have a normal inhale exhale. When he goes for inhale, the graph moves to the vertical direction. When he goes for expiration, it goes down. So in this way, the patient is said to have a normal breathe in and out, and recording happens. Moment after few seconds, the patient is said to inhale at maximum capacity. Moment he goes for the inhale of maximum capacity, the graph goes here. So this point indicates that up to this level, he is able to breathe to its maximum level. Then the patient is said to exhale to its maximum expiratory capacity, and it comes down, and again he is said to have a normal breath. In this process, the various parameters are measured. Like we have vital capacity. Vital capacity is the amount of air the patient can exhale from maximum inspiratory level. This is inspiration, and the down graph is expiration. The maximum amount of air that a patient can exhale from maximum inspiratory level to maximum expiratory level. Inspiratory residual volume. It is the maximum amount of air the patient can inhale from normal inspiratory level. This is normal inspiratory level. This is normal expiratory level. This is maximum inspiratory level. This is maximum expiratory level. Tidal volume. Tidal volume is the amount of air the patients have inhaled or exhaled during normal inspiration, expiration. Expiratory residual volume. It is the amount of air that can be expired forcefully from normal expiratory level to maximum expiratory level. Residual volume. Residual volume is the amount of air that always remains in the lungs in spite of this maximum expiratory level. Force residual capacity, it is a combination of expiratory residual volume plus residual volume. Expiratory reserve volume plus residual volume. By studying these all parameters, one can very well make a conclusion to the health of the particular lungs. Thus, spirometry is a test which indicates the normal or abnormal working of the lungs. Thank you.